Guys, it's Jacob from StringBuzz here, stringbuzzworld.org being a music journalism site, links are in the description down below. And we have a brand new song review for you today, and it's the latest track by Nicki Minaj, and that's Regret in Your Tears. So I'm going to refer to the original article as I usually do for these videos, so I hope you enjoy. So after finding Nicki Minaj's last few tracks a little dull and safe for me personally, I went into this track not really knowing what to expect. She's always been a very hit or miss character for me, and sometimes I feel she loses the musical side of her tracks in favour of these cliched, overused tropes just to sort of get a reaction out of people. So should we see what I thought of this brand new track? Well, it has good aspects to it, and I like what she tried to incorporate into that instrumentation, but unfortunately I did find she was probably the worst part of this song. The track doesn't know whether it wants to be a dancehall track, a poppy track, a ballad-like track, or even an experimental type track. So it tries to mash it all up into one, and it sort of ended up being forgettable, really. It just seemed like a bad copy of all those genres, like a bad song in one of those genres. Nicki's vocals are heavily studio tampered with. Her lyrics are straight up bad in this song, and even though I'm glad she seems to have dropped this whole persona thing, I just find her voice a little dull nowadays. Sure, I know I've said that I dislike her extreme dramatization of lyrics in these personas in the past, but at least it sort of gave her music a memorable personality, but this track just lacks all of her natural character. Production-wise, I've heard worse just today, in fact, but I think this track suffers from not having enough content behind it. I like the tone and reverb-infused stabs, which would play in the background every now and then, creating this sort of jarring rhythm, paired with that very subdued and spatial percussion. I liked the way that sounded in the mix. I also like how the bass was kept minimal throughout this track in comparison to her last few tracks anyway, and never became too overpowering in the mix. But then the dancehall style of mixing came in with the vocals, and it just didn't stick together at all. Dancehall is known for having heavily auto-tuned and tampered with vocals, often pitch corrected to needless extent in order to create quite vibrant melodies and capitalize on all of that vocal dramatization, all of that dramatization that was missing from this track. But when you pair that with a style such with the instrumentation was so subdued and melancholy in the instrumentals, I think you have a very sort of, like I said, jarring and out of place mix. When it comes to the musicality of this track, like I said, I enjoyed the instrumentals, but I didn't enjoy them so much that I needed the 4 bars to stretch over nearly 4 minutes worth of music. There wasn't enough content here in the instrumentals, and unfortunately that meant I got pretty bored pretty quick. Nicki can't decide what she wants to do on this track either, so she tries to be hyper flexible as usual, throwing in lines that are egotistical, lines that are heartfelt, lines that are meant to be humorous, and lines that are a little bit upsetting and a bit more personal. She tries to use different vocal techniques to flesh out these sort of different themes, but we don't get enough instrumental development, enough runtime, and enough melody extension, so it all sounds dynamically exactly the same with the exact same notation as well. And what I'm trying to really say here is that nothing feels more significant than the other, meaning that all the substance is out of whack. You know, you've got these egotistical lines that seem to be on the same wavelength as these sort of melancholy lines, and it just creates a really sort of weird atmosphere that you don't really know where to place. The chorus in this track is just plain irritating for me though, and that little vocal lick she tries to do with the "you" lyric just doesn't really work for me. Lyrically, as I've said, it's just way too unprecise. I'm all for flexibility and pushing in as much as you can around a topic from all angles as well and different perspectives, but this just felt like multiple people were talking about different experiences. Nothing seemed concentrated on, no theme seemed focused to me. So all in all, a forgettable track that I don't really see me listening to ever again, so I gave it a G rating of 4 out of 10, which is just below average. So if you like this video, then please leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I'll see you around next time. Bye-bye.